and welcome to another Lawn Fawn video. Today we're taking a look at the new gift card heart envelope. So this is the die set and you get all these fun elements to decorate your envelope with. So let's cut this apart. I used my snips here and I've got it sitting on my magnetic sheet, and then we're just going to take a look at the pieces that this die cuts. So you get the big main piece that makes the envelope. You can see that it has stitching details as well as the score lines on where to fold the paper. So I'm just going to fold on each of those 4 score lines, and you're basically folding all those flaps in towards the center. So you can see there, these 2 on the top and the bottom will fold in, and then the 2 sides fold in, and then the heart has a little slit, one at the top, one at the bottom, and they just fit right together to close up that envelope. There are also dies in this set that will cut a heart with a stitching detail, half a heart with a stitching detail, and these you can layer over top of the heart on the envelope. So these are exactly the same size, and this just gives you the option to color this heart differently with different paper. There's also a rectangle with a scalloped edge. This fits inside or on the back of the envelope. So you can see how that fits there perfectly. You could write a message or you could decorate it with a scene or whatever you wanted to do. It also fits inside the envelope. So this envelope fits a gift card, like this Amazon gift card here. Or if you don't want to put a gift card inside, you could always just put a message inside. And this is a perfect place to put your message or your scene inside as well. You also get this little scripty for you, which I think is just so cute. You could put it on the outside of your envelope. You could put it on that rectangle. You get this little arrow here, which I think would be super fun to cut out of all kinds of colors and make a background with. And you also get some little hearts that you can use to decorate. There's also these 2 little clusters of hearts, of 3 hearts, and the idea behind them is to cut them out of this panel and use the negative space. So you get these heart openings. So I'm just going to put them in the 2 corners of this panel here, and I'm going to hold them in place with a little bit of washi tape and run that through my die cut machine so you can see. So you get this look with the cutouts out of the panel from those hearts. And then you can see whatever color paper is behind it through those openings. So I thought it would be fun to create some envelopes that are not necessarily Valentine's. We have a lot of examples for Valentine's, and I'm going to use some Into the Woods pattern paper. So I'm going to make 2 envelopes today. One thing to remember is that you want to die cut the side that you want on the outside, because it's going to have the stitching detail. So you want to make sure that that's the side you cut, because it's going to be the outside of the envelope. And then whatever's on the other side of the paper is going to be the inside of your envelope. And I'll tell you right now, I messed up on the stripe one because there's clouds on the back of this. And I did not look at the back to see if my clouds are oriented correctly. So you'll see that here in just a second. So I've cut that out and I'm just folding on the score lines, because the stripe side of the paper is the outside of my envelope. And then for the other one, I cut it out of that paper with the blue and the dots, and I'm going to make that the outside of this one so it's a little more subtle. And then when you open it up, you're going to have that more busy pattern on the inside, kind of like opening up like a wooden box that has a really pretty fabric on the inside. That's kind of the way I'm going to think of it. So you have that blue, you can decorate it more on the outside because it's not so busy. And then here is where I discover that my clouds are upside down, but you know what? We're just going to go with it. It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland. Things are crazy. So I'm going to start to decorate my first one here. I'm using those hearts that I had earlier. They're cut from some chocolate bar cardstock. I thought that this dark brown went really well with that dark brown stripe in the paper. And I'm just adding them on with an adhesive runner. And they fit perfectly on this heart that's on the envelope. So you just line it up right with that center where that slit's cut, and you can see how they are just perfectly aligned and will close just like that. I'm going to use some more Into the Woods papers to decorate with. And so I cut my rectangle, my scalloped rectangle out of that wood grain paper. So for this envelope, I decided I wanted to put my sentiment on the inside. So I've got the thanks, the scripty thanks cut from some orange cardstock, and I've got a stamp from the thanks, thanks, thanks stamp set that's going to finish off that sentiment. I'm going to white emboss it, so I've put some anti-static on this piece of paper, stamped that with clear embossing ink. I'm going to add that white embossing powder, and then I can just heat that up with my heat tool till you get that nice bright white sentiment. So once that's all melted, I'm just going to use my hand to dust off any extra anti-static that's on there. And then I'm going to add some liquid glue to my die cut thanks and just put that right above it. And now I'll have this sentiment panel that I can put inside my envelope. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive to the back of that, and then I'm going to center it up inside. And again, those clouds are upside down. You know, we're a little wonky here. That's okay. And then I can put a gift card on top of that, and then when the recipient pulls out the gift card, then they see the sentiment inside, which I just think is a lot of fun. You know, I decided to go ahead and put that Amazon card in there upside down. Those clouds are upside down, why not? So you can just close all those tabs over and then take the two little hearts and slide their slits together. And then you have this cute little gift card holder to give to somebody. So now let's work on the other one that I die cut, and here is a little tip. This is the heart left over from cutting out the center picture window heart add-on, and don't throw those scraps away. It works perfectly to cut out these hearts that go on the front. So I just die cut those hearts that go on the front from that leftover piece that's from Let It Shine paper, and that's the pink with the little dots, which I just think is really cute with this blue with dots. So I've cut out that scripty for you out of some pixie dust, also the arrow, and then I'm going to cut out the little clusters of hearts from this piece of Let It Shine pattern paper, and this is going to be where my sentiment goes. I also have that rectangle cut from some guava, and I'm going to layer that behind so that I get the bright pink hearts. And I'm going to keep these little hearts. They're kind of like confetti, and I'm going to put them inside my envelope when I'm done here. So I'm just going to put those to the side, and you can see how this is going to layer behind. Now, before I glue these together, I wanted to show you another idea with this. This could also be a tag, especially with those little hearts cut out of the corner. So all you need to make this a tag is a little bit of twine that you can string right through those hearts in the corner. Pull it through, and now you've got this fun rectangular tag that you could decorate and put on a project as well. So just another idea that you can use this die set for. So now that I've shown you that, I can continue to put my pieces together the way I've planned. So I'm putting some adhesive on the back of that one that I've die cut those little clusters of hearts from, and I'm layering it over the solid guava piece. And so now I have those bright pink hearts in each corner. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to this scripty for you. It's cut from pixie dust, so you get that fun white glitter. So on this one, I'm going to put this panel on the outside of the envelope. So I'm putting it on the back. And then I'm just going to kind of fold it closed and decorate the front with a few of the little elements from the die set. So I've got those hearts cut from some guava cardstock. There's a little one and a big one. And then I'm also going to use the arrow. I wasn't quite sure at first how I wanted to use the arrow. I thought about kind of doing the thing where you see the arrow go through the heart, but I wasn't sure how to do that without cutting the heart. So what I decided to do was make it look like it was behind the heart. So I'm cutting it in half. And this is going to be very subtle because of this white isn't going to pop quite as much as the pink. And since I've got it closed, I can see where my heart's going to fall. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue and I'm going to tuck it behind the heart. So when it's open, it may look a little funny because the heart that this arrow is tucked behind is actually attached to the opposite flap of the envelope. But you'll see here when it's closed, you get that look of the arrow going all the way through the heart. And then when you open it, we're going to put a gift card inside. So I'm putting a California Starbucks card because I miss my friends in California. And then those little hearts that I cut out of the sentiment panel, I'm going to add those inside just like confetti. I think that's just kind of a fun added element that you can use these little scraps for. So I'm going to close up that confetti inside, and then when the recipient opens it, they get a gift card and some fun confetti that falls out. So here is that finished envelope, and here's the one I made earlier. So you can see you get some really fun looks using pattern paper, but these would also be fun to decorate as well. And I just love the look when you use the pattern paper and you open it up and you get that other pattern on the inside. I just think that's so much fun. Now let's take a look at some examples from the design team. I love Yainea's gift bag and how she used that scripty for you cut from gold on the gift bag and on the arrow. It's just so stunning. Melissa's gift bag is sweet as well, and I love how she used the for you sentiment and cut it down the middle so it works on the front of the envelope. Megan's card is so sweet. I love that little hedgehog and how she used the candy hearts dies to cover the heart of the envelope, and you open it up to see that cute sentiment inside, as well as the backside of that little hedgehog. It's just adorable. Letitia used the new conversation heart stencil to decorate her envelope, and I just love those bright red colors. And then inside she also has that bright red sentiment, and I just think it is so lovely. Grace created a super sweet spring card. I love that little chick holding the envelope, and then when you open it up, it has a gift card inside, which is just so much fun. Thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye!